Shalom. This is Truth is Everlasting, Lion's Den. I am Yahweh Sap. I camp out with Lion Den, Hawan Ben Joshua in Jacksonville, Florida. But first, I have to give a prayer to the Father, to the Son, to the elders, to the Archons, and to the women and children. Kal Halayim La, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Bahashem Ha Rokah Kodash Mahamath. In the name of Yahweh Shai, in spirit and holy and truth. Double honors to the 144,000 chosen elect. Double honors to the elders of GMS. Double honors to my elder Hawan. Salutation to the Archons who are the four corners of the earth. And to the women and children, Shalom. Okay, well, you know, it's all over the TV and all over the YouTube and TikTok, right? What's going on in North Carolina. Emergency massive hurricane Milton heading to Florida and North Carolina recovery. Well, you know, these are things that happens every year, right? And the question arises, is it, you know, who's doing it, right? Is it Yahweh Shin Yahweh Shai, or is it the wicked Edomites that are in power? Well, you know, the way it goes that our people too, so-called Negros Latinos, American speckled birds, have a hard time understanding that Yahweh Bashin Yahweh Shai is in control of everything. They move the chessboard accordingly, okay? So, even though the wicked has been given the power, the technology, right, to learn and to use, they use it for wickedness, okay? The title of this lesson is called, Is It Natural, Accident, or Intentional? Right? It's a sincere question. I mean, so much is going on. So we're going to let this video play. They have a whistleblower that worked in the field, okay? And is suing, you know, the government, right, as well as the military, because they're involved also, okay? And other corporations. Here we go.
Yeah, and Alexa will tell you about Hurricane Milton in the past tense, which is remarkable. Even Amazon's Alexa can already tell you that Hurricane Milton has strengthened to a hurricane and has wrought destruction. Alexa's amazing, isn't it? It's really amazing how these tools work these days. Where I mean, even it's remarkable. Anyway, how many of you have tried that little skill? Of course, that's been going viral over the past 24 hours when you ask Alexa about Hurricane Milton. Before it even became a hurricane, it seemed to have already been updated in its database. It's remarkable stuff how this all works. Well, it's already being called a record-breaking hurricane that's about to slam into Florida. People across the southern part of the United States are being told to leave and to brace themselves. Florida residents being told to get out right now. I mean, how many of you are watching right now that live in that area or planning to leave? Let us know. Sewers and water are already being turned off. Schools are closed, and more are closing. All of this is happening as early voting is happening. Absentee voting is already happening across the South. So we'll have more on that in a second, but here's the latest.
The easiest way to make money in real estate is right here,
you
and
know
it
how
does
it
not
is
involve
with
me
YouTube.
buying a piece of real estate, door knocking, cold.
We'll have more on that in a second, but here's the latest.
In the meantime, let's ride our video monitors down to the state of Florida. That state is once again in a path of life-threatening hurricane. We're talking about Milton, that's now strengthened to a monster there in the Atlantic, a Category 5 storm. So evacuations are now underway just a day after Hurricane Helene wreaked havoc across the state, or days after. Governor DeSantis calling on all counties there to speed up debris removal ahead of Milton's landfall.
Local officials and their vendors must continue debris removal efforts for those areas that are in the potential path of this storm. My executive order requires debris landfill and dump sites to remain open 24/7 to accept debris from Hurricane Helene. We need as much of this debris picked up as possible. This creates a safety hazard, and it also will increase the damage that Milton could do with flying debris.
Right. So now we're dealing with all of the debris from Hurricane Helene that's still there in big piles. We're talking all sorts of, plywood and wood, 2x4s, and car debris and shingles and everything else. It's just in big piles right now. Aluminum siding, things like that, all in big piles, which could be then projectiles for this new storm. So perfect fodder for this new storm, perfect projectiles. So overnight, Hurricane Milton went from a Category 3 to a 4 within an hour, and then within another hour, it became a Category 5. According to Into Thin Air, it may be the fastest move ever seen in the Gulf of Mexico. The thing is turning into a beast, and it's heading right into another storm that could also merge and then smash right into Florida. Bizarre swirling radar anomalies are also once again present here, just like we saw with Hurricane Helene. These same weird patterns from these radar signatures. And it's asking many people right now, or people are wondering if this hurricane is being controlled or geoengineered on purpose. We put up a poll here so far. 94% of you in our audience, 94% say that this is that weather can be manipulated for sure. So take a look. This is the hurricane track over the last few hours. It's highly unusual for the hurricane to intensify from a Category 3 to a 4 to a 5 within 1 hour. Meaning it became a Category 3 and then 1 hour later became a Category 4 and then less than an hour later becomes a Category 5. Very rare. Media, of course, across Florida right now telling you to get out right now.
The Ready, Set, Go is a great idea of who's going to be feeling impacts, but you'll notice areas here where we're talking about evacuations and final preparations, maybe boarding up the house. You have areas in through Pinellas County, by the way. They do have evacuations, and they're also in some areas like St. Pete Beach. They're turning off sewage and water. Tomorrow morning, it's all off. So that's another reason to go.
Yeah, exactly. Think of this as like a stoplight. They stop what you're doing in your everyday life and get ready. Get your medications, get whatever you need, right, to make sure that you are set, your family's set, your pets are set, your evacuation route, in case you don't know as well. Hillsborough County.
So get out now is the message there. Here's the latest storm track from just a few minutes ago. This is where we are now, west-northwest of Progreso, Mexico. A Category 5, massive beast of a storm that's heading right toward, and who knows whether this will be, whether this will be downgraded from a 4 to a 3 or whether it will sustain at a 5. A lot of people saying there's a lot of similarities here between this track of Hurricane Charlie back in 2004, right before the election in 2004. But of course, that one came from a little bit south of Key West and came right up along the coastline to that direction. This is coming obviously from the Mexico direction here. And before you call it conspiracy theory, we did a whole deep dive last week here on the show about the U.S. government's history of using weather modification. Into Thin Air notices some very similar radar anomalies. We saw this with Helene back again with this very same storm, the same exact radar signatures that he's picked up on. Watch.
All right, let's take a look at Florida, and already it's looking like a disco party is going on. A lot of different radar activity going on. We got spikes here going all the way into the Gulf, heavy lines up in this area, and then of course we have the one we saw with Hurricane Helene right here going off again. Now, of course, remember, these are just theories that we're talking about here, entertainment purposes only, because no way is weather modification real, right, everybody? Anyway.
Right.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Just entertainment purposes only. There's no weather modification, except there is. And here's a whistleblower who's come forward. She worked on these projects. And she's suing and she's suing the federal government for lying to the American people. Listen.
And she's a military veteran, right?
Yes, I was in the U.S. Air Force for 9 years.
Wow. And you came out and blew the whistle on geoengineering, things that you witnessed were going on. Can you give us the real nutshell?
Absolutely. Basically, I had heard of what many people know as the term chemtrails. And I worked in a job called bioenvironmental engineering, and I thought that was insane. And why would we do something like that? Modify the weather by using hazardous materials in our atmosphere? So, and actually the process of trying to debunk it or disprove it, I realized it was actually coming right out of my office, as I was one of the people that was approving the chemicals. And it really shook the core of my oath. And I did a lot of sampling, a lot of investigation, and I blew the whistle and I got out. And I've now used my credentials, my oath, and my powers for good to help people understand it's very real. It's now openly admitted. There are multiple forms of weather modification. I specifically found the one of stratospheric aerosol injection. And collectively around the globe, we have to understand that it is now being admitted because they're saying it's combating climate change. Well, the climate change we need to be worried about is man-made climate engineering, also known as geoengineering.
Yeah, entertainment purposes only. So don't take her word for it. Take the former head of the CIA talking about it, how it's the most exciting weapon he's ever seen. This is John Brennan.
Another example is the array of technologies, often referred to collectively as geoengineering, that potentially could help reverse the warming effects of global climate change. One that has gained my personal attention is stratospheric aerosol injection, or SAI, a method of seeding the stratosphere with particles that can help reflect the sun's heat in much the same way that volcanic eruptions do. An SAI program could limit global temperature increases, reducing some risks associated with higher temperatures and providing the world economy additional time to transition from fossil fuels. This process is also relatively inexpensive. The National Research Council estimates that a fully deployed SAI program would cost about $10 billion yearly.
How many of you get objections like, I need to think it over, or we don't have the money or budget, or we need to talk
yearly?
Yeah, so the CIA is loving this program as well.
Okay, let's stop it right there. So as you can see, there's so much proof about it, right? The technology that we really don't need any whistleblower, right? That's gonna go and sue to make it real, right? That's how come we call us, the Hebrew Israelite, of different colors. We are not black, as the Edomites like to call us. We call Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai to come down and remove these wicked Edomites and their kingdom from power and the kingdom from the face of the earth, to remove it, right? Because they cannot handle the power that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai has lent them, right, to use to get ready for the war when Yahweh Shai comes back. Look what they're doing to the earth, right? Look at the massive people that lives have been taken away, okay? I want to go to Psalm chapter 37, verse 1. Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity. Okay? So, this is what we're seeing right here is really increasing Jacob's trouble. Okay? It's going to get worse. This is nothing. Okay? It's going to get worse. Worldwide, by the way. They're getting ready. The Edomites are getting ready. Verse 2, for they shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither as the green herb. Verse 3, trust in Yahweh and do good, so shalt thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed. Right? Don't trust Egypt, right, for all things in this disaster that they are creating. They are causing, right? They caused the problem, and then they have the solution. I was looking at another YouTube where just, normal citizens that have the equipment to transfer whatever the North Carolina people in the mountain needed, they were being stopped and they were being asked, do they have a permit to be moving these kind of things? And they didn't, so they couldn't move it. And then what came to my mind was, well, imagine if Noah, had to ask permission to the Edomite state to build the ark, right? They would have said no, for sure. Verse 4, delight thyself also in Yahweh, and he shall give thee the desire of thy heart, of thy mind. Right? Now, most of these people that are living up there in North Carolina in the mountains, the majority of them are Edomites, right? So they're going to be quoting on their God, on their Jesus, right? Because that's who their God is, Okay. Now, of course, it's a sad thing what happened. Okay. But then again, all the people, so-called Caucasians that are living here in so-called America are living and standing on stolen land, right? So now they don't like it when their own kind is doing it to them. How you like that, right? It's okay when they did it to us, right? It was beautiful, right? They celebrated, they made parties, they made postcards and said to one another, right? And now when it's happening to them, it's wrong, right? It's wicked. Verse 5, commit thy ways unto Yahweh, trust also in him, right? These are to our people, okay? And he shall what? Bring it to pass, okay? But boy, things are going to get worse before it goes, it brings it to pass. So get ready, you so-called Negros Latinos, Incas, and speckled birds, man. Verse 6, and he shall bring forth thy righteousness as the light, as the truth. And thy judgment as the noonday. Yeah, judgment is coming. You know, because right now with this scenario, this coincidental event, right? People are gathering together, are building the little groups of what you can call it. Well, let's just use the word communities, right? To protect each other and to defend each other. Not a wise thing to do, right? I mean, that's going to push the ones that are in power, the Edomites, to bring in the martial law, right? Because when things don't work their way or go their way, and no one wants to obey what they say, well, you know, they're going to show their true snake mentality, right? Verse 7, rest in Yahweh and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospers in his ways. Yeah, they're prospering big time. Because of the man who brings wicked devices to pass. Yeah, and they are bringing these wicked devices, and they're so happy and excited of what they're doing, right, to the people, especially to their own kind, right? Verse 8, cease from anger and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil. Yeah. All we're going to do is keep using the scripture to reveal their wickedness as we've been doing for many, many years. Okay. Starting with our Bibbins from 1960, right? GMS all the way down. Okay. That's what we do. We report the news that the news cannot report, okay? Because they're gonna, lie a lot, and they're gonna call us anyway fake news. Verse 9: for evildoers shall be cut off, but those that wait upon Yahweh, they shall inherit the earth. Woo! Yeah. Because the Edomites, all they're doing is destroying themselves, right? They want power so bad that they will destroy themselves, and look what they're doing to their own people. I mean, they've been living up there for, 100 years now? Something like that, right? I mean, even though they stole the land, the mountains, now the Edomites of power is taken away from the Edomites. What's that, the middle class and the poor? Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they're doing it for a good reason, right? There must be a lot of rich minerals that they need and want, since China is not doing that kind of business with America anymore. I want to go to Sirach. Give me a minute. Sirach, I want to go to chapter 12. Let's start with verse 10. Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rust, so is his wickedness. Yeah, we've been telling you for a long time. Verse 11. Though he humble himself, right, and goes crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away. Yeah, I mean, they keep showing their wickedness to the whole world, right? Verse 12, set him not by thee, lest when he has overthrown thee, he stands up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand. Right? Don't be telling him what you really know. Okay? Lest he seeks to take thy seat, and thou at the last remember my words, and be pricked therewith. Right? Gotta be careful, because with all this disaster, rest assured that they're going to be pushing also for people to be taking the Jews, right? It's going to get to a point where they're going to say, the hell we asking you, we're going to mandate that you take the charagma or else, right? We're getting closer. We're getting closer. Let me go back to Psalm 37. Let me go start with 21. The wicked borrows and pays not again. Boy, is that true. But the righteous shows mercy and gives. Man, the wicked are showing their true colors. They can't hide it. They can't hide it. It's impossible. Verse 22. For such as be blessed of him shall inherit the earth, and they that be cursed of him shall be cut off. Yeah. Since you keep cursing us, well then, you didn't bless us, Edomite. So now the curses are upon you. Now Egypt is fighting with Egypt. How you like that? Let me jump to verse 27. Depart from evil and do good, and dwell forevermore. Let's go and jump to verse 10. For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. Yet thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be. Yeah, it's going to get there when they're not going to be no more in power. Their kingdom is going to go bye-bye once Yahushua comes back with the host of angels. Verse 11, but the meek shall inherit the earth, and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. That's right. And who are the meek? The so-called Negros, Latino Americans, and speckled birds. And who are going to be the ones? First, the 144,000 chosen elect, which is all men. Boy, do I hope and pray that I'm one of them. Oh, and 1/3 of men, women, and children as well. Let me jump to verse 12. The wicked plots against the just, and garnish upon him with his teeth. Yeah, they're getting their weapons ready to rumble, right? They have all these advanced gadgets, right? All this technology that they have accumulated learning throughout the years in up there where in Alaska, Antarctica, right? That they have been up there for so many years studying as much as they can, and now the Edomites, as well as other governments around the world, they feel that they have now the power, right, to take on the universe. Boy, have they been drinking a lot of Kool-Aid. Hmm? Want to jump to, give me a minute, I was at what, 20, 22? I did 27, Slovakia. I'm gonna go to 23. Give me a minute, Slovakia. Verse 23, the steps of a good man are ordered by Yahweh, and he delights in his ways. Yeah. You know, that's the beauty about being called in the name of Yahweh Shin Yahweh Shai, right? That gives the understanding and to have elders, okay? Yahweh Shin Yahweh Shai controls everything, righteous and wickedness. He even controls Satan, okay? Satan cannot do whatever comes out of his ass. He has to obey, okay? Verse 24, though he falls, he shall not be utterly cast down, for Yahweh upholds him with his hand. Yeah, we're going to fall, but he's going to rise us back up, okay? Verse 25, I have been young, and now I am old, yet I have not seen the righteousness forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. Yeah, it ain't gonna happen, right? So this is the beauty about being called in the name of Yahweh Shin Yahweh Shai, that the more you practice faith with work, you recognize it. When the time comes, and the time is coming soon, okay, that all hell's gonna break loose, they're gonna shut everything down. A lot of our people, 2/3 of our people to be exact, are gonna run to Egypt, okay? Because they don't have the faith. They don't believe in something they cannot see in Yahweh Shai. Okay? And they don't want to die anyway, right? I want to go to, give me a minute. Where am I? All right, I want to go to Ecclesiastic, yes. Chapter 7, verse 17. Be not overmuch wicked, neither be thou foolish. Why should thou die before thy time? Yeah. Don't follow the wicked. Don't do what they say. And hell don't take what they give. Verse 18, it is good that thou shouldest take hold of this. Yea, also from the withdraw not thy hand, for he that fears Yahweh shall come forth of them all. Yeah. Fear Yahweh, Shin Yahweh Shai. And he will help us, he will guide us, and he will protect us. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 6. Oops, Salakia. Verse 12. A worthless person, a wicked man, walks with a forward mouth. Yeah, right? Fraud, perverse thing, right? Of a person or their actions. Can't trust the Edomite, man. Can't trust him. Verse 13, he winks with his eyes, he speaks with his feet. He teach with his fingers. Yeah. Everything that he does is of wickedness. To rape, rob, and plunder and murder. That's all he knows how to do. Verse 14, forwardness, right, is in his heart, in his mind. He devises mischief continually. He sows discord. Boy, has he did that with his own people over there in North Carolina, right? And also in other parts of Florida. But then again, around the world, when you really look at it. Verse 15, therefore shall his calamity come suddenly. Suddenly shall he be broken without remedy. Woo! Yep. And they know it's getting closer for them. Okay, I'll leave it with Ecclesiastic chapter 12, verse 14. For Yahweh shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. Yep. Things are moving fast and Jacob's trouble is increasing. I hope that this was edifying. And with that, I'll say shalom.